So I just came back in from getting my groceries from Instacart. It's so cold outside. The grocery store is out of everything. And no, I did not want eggs, bread, or milk. I wanted good chocolate, coffee creamer, and water, of course. So I got everything I needed. So now I can sit back and journal all day. So I guess you would call this my lineup. My starting five. What's that? 2, 3, 4, 5. Because this is my personal one. And you know, we don't really look in this one. So, but yeah. And I got this one from Hobby Lobby. So yeah, this is my everyday planner from Papier, which I love. You'll see a lot of this one. And this is what the back looks like. And then I got a wellness journal from them too. That's this one. And I think I've shown you some pages in here. This is what they look like. Yep. And then this one is from Artful Planner. Artful Planner Company, and it's just customized. I got it for 1 month. So this is just for the month of February. And it's neat. I think, well, I customized the pages. And I like that you can customize it to your liking. So these are some of the pages. Almost like a wellness journal. With you being able to track your hydration. I think that's a nice touch. And then these two are my art journals. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I started out with, you know, these types of pages. Practicing penmanship. Then they got a little bit more extravagant. This is from Christmas. So yeah. Lots of fun. This is 8.5 by 11. This came from, I think, Shein. But nice and heavy duty. And this is my other art journal. Let me zoom out a little bit. I think I can zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Get my chunk out of the way. But this is 8.5 by 11 also. It's huge. But yeah, I do a lot of layering in here. These pages are really heavy. I like that. So, been testing out some of my new stickers. Yep, got some plans for February. Yep, lots of plans. I've been making plans like Usher. So that is all. That's my lineup. So this journaling video may be a little different. I really wanted to explain like what my channel is about. It's very eclectic. That's what we're going to call it. So I do feature journaling, planning, and sometimes coloring videos. And I don't follow a really structured method. And the reason is because I want YouTube to remain fun for me. So with journaling and planning, I focus on making my planner pretty. I love the stickers. I love the different color pens and the pretty journals themselves. Same with the planners. The things that I show you, these are my public planner and journal, because the other two that are personal are just too personal. It's my personal business. So unfortunately, you can't show all that stuff online because you never know who's watching. So to maintain my privacy, I have a public version and a private version. So what you see on camera is public. You know, you see all the pretty stickers. I write some things down. And if you see like things that are just really general, like where it might just say appointment, it won't have a time or where I'm going or whatever. That's to maintain privacy. So really my channel is about the fun side of journaling. I work in a field that is very structured, so I didn't want to incorporate that same type of structure into YouTube. So you will see videos where I'm just placing stickers and playing music. It's fun for me. And that's what I want YouTube to be. It would be nice if it turns into an additional stream of income, but I never want to lose the fun side of it where it becomes like a second job. I work too much as it is. Also, I just try to maintain my privacy. You know, we have to be so careful these days. So if it looks like, you know, like, well, why didn't she put this? That's why. It's always going to revolve around privacy. But I'm having a really good time with YouTube. I love, you know, decorating my background, dressing it up with different candles and pretty pens and doing my nails and all that stuff. And the music is usually custom music. I make my music with Suno. I write my own lyrics, and it's just fun. Usually the lyrics will be akin to the video, we'll put it that way. Or it might be like from an earlier video or something. So it's just really fun for me. So if you're thinking about doing a journaling channel, like, don't make it a chore where, you know, you have so many do's and don'ts. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want with it. Because the algorithm will fool you. You can make a video and get great traction and do the same thing the next week, and it won't even be half the same amount of traction. I would say the one thing that's consistent with my channel is fun. It's always going to be fun for me. You know, some people may not get it, and everybody's not going to get you, you know, and that's okay. Sometimes I want to do storytelling, but it's like, I don't know. You never know who's watching. But I will tell y'all a quick story. So, and I'm going to try to make sure the person is anonymous. I'm not going to say any names or anything. But as you get older, it's harder to make friends. So there was a lady at work that wanted to be friends with me. And, you know, I thought she was cool and everything. She was really nice, funny. But as time went on, I realized that she was very critical of others. And not only that, she would be critical behind their backs, but then, you know, act nice to them, to their face. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, because she'll do the same thing to me. So, you know, I tried to see the good. I did, because we all have our flaws. So I was like, okay, you know, that's just a flaw. As we become friends, hey, maybe I can rub off on her. And, you know, when we get closer, I can tell her, you know, like, it's really not nice to do that to people. But it was one day she told me a story. She said when she was in college, she had come home, I guess for the weekend, and she had just washed her car. So she parked her car in the driveway, and she said she looked out at it and she saw paw prints going across her hood. So she said she knew immediately what had happened. The lady next door, and this was an elderly lady, had a cat, and she knew the cat had walked across her car. So up until this point, I'm still not really thinking anything of the story. So she says she mixed up some household chemicals like cleaning fluid and things like that. I think maybe some things for the car that you pour into your car too. And she put it all in a bowl. And then she poured some milk in it too. And she sat it out for the cat to drink. So at this point, I'm like, okay, still don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out. She said her dad came in her room the next day. And he's just like, what did you do? And she's like, what are you talking about? And he just looked at her and she was like, what? And he was like, Miss So-and-so's cat is dead. And she was like, well, it shouldn't have walked across my car. And I just froze because I'm like, she has to be joking. Please tell me she did not kill someone's pet because it walked across the hood of her car. And she started laughing. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, did you really do that? She was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I knew then, I'm like, I can't be friends with her. She is crazy. Like, I'm not making light of it, but I would have never thought. This is a professional lady. She's married. She has children. But when she told me that dark story and felt no way about it, even now, because I'm like, okay, she was in college. So, I mean, you're still a young adult. You know, maybe she just made a bad decision, didn't really think about it, but she still had no remorse. And I'm like, you cannot be friends with her. Like, what if y'all go out there? You can't leave your food at the table with this lady. She's crazy. So I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, you know, you shouldn't have done that, right? She was like, whatever. I was like, okay. So I started, when she would text, I wouldn't text back right away. I would just leave it. So it got to the point where I was just leaving it for days. But she kept texting. And I started working somewhere else. So, you know, I didn't have to interact with her at work. And we both work remotely anyway. But like no Teams calls and stuff like that anymore. And, you know, she would call. I wouldn't answer and stuff. And then finally, you know, she was like, hey, she was like, I miss my friend. She was like, are you okay? And I text her back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I told her, I said, you know, now that I work somewhere else, you know, I'm just trying to focus on learning my new responsibilities. And I really don't want to hear about the old job. I said, so I just faded to black. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, I understand. She was like, I was just checking on you. So that was it. But I say all that to say, like, be careful when you're making new friends, because you just never know what people are capable of. Because that was just so scary. But I'm not going to talk through the whole video. I'm going to leave you with that. I know you're like, okay, that's some kind of note to leave on. But enjoy the rest of the video. It's scenes from different journaling and planning sessions. I'm going to play soft music. So you have about 20 more minutes to journal and just put your thoughts on paper or plan, or just play this music in your background while you relax or clean up or whatever it is you want to do. So I will see you all in the next video. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Tiptoe, 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 tiptoe. Here we go, here we go, here we go. On a journey in our journal during the day, but sometimes nocturnal. We write this, think that, no eraser. We keep straight, no eyes, no chaser. Words, we talking about words, sober, clear thoughts, making it pretty, making life better. That's what we writing about. The good, the bad, no ugly. I only see those things above me. Let's journal, let's plan, let's write until we understand where we stand. The grand plan, we got our own newsstand, which ain't news to me. My thoughts always been free, free to grow, free to be, free to change or just be. Black thought, white paper, write it down before it becomes vapor. Words, we talking about words, sober, clear thoughts, making it pretty, making life better. That's what we writing about. The good, the bad, no ugly. I only see those things above me.